So the first anniversary of Monster Hunter Wilds is next month. The game is basically finished with the last final major edition of the game, titled Beat 4. I want to do my own review of the game. I'll talk about my likes and dislikes, about the gameplay loop, the roster, and especially the performance of this game. Let me know if you agree with me or disagree. Totally fine with that. Feedback is much appreciated. So let's get straight to the video. The gameplay in Monster Hunter has always been good, but on Wilds it's inherently the same as all the other games. But they've added wounds, focus mode, offsets, and power clashes to the game. Additionally, you can hold 2 weapons now. So if you ride your Sacred and you like Switch Axe, but you also like Charge Blade, you can switch mid-hunt anytime you want. I think that's really cool. That's probably one of the best changes they added to Monster Hunter. I can't really talk about how much they changed the weapons, since I only played 2, Longsword and Greatsword, excuse me. But I'll tell you that they made Longsword way cooler, dude. Some were a little unnecessary, like having a counter on your dismount attack of your Sacred. But honestly, who cares? It's fun as shit. When you get to the red level of your Spirit Gauge, you get like special animations for like basic attacks. You get to sheath your Longsword mid-air during Spirit Helm Slash in case you won't land the attack. And you also get a follow-up attack with Spirit Helm Slash. Like, dude, they giving everything, bro. The Longsword. But let's talk about the wound system. The wound system basically just gives wounds to monsters. It's in the name, and you can target them for extra damage, or potentially even a stagger. Use focus strikes to actually pop the wound. Each weapon has a unique focus strike, which I think is awesome. I think the wound system is a great addition to Monster Hunter in general, but there's some issues with it. The issue with it is like the amount of staggering you could abuse, because back then wounds basically rolled over any monster, and I low-key think the wound system was probably one of the biggest reasons why people were calling this game like extremely easy. And dude, like the amount of staggering, wounds do a lot of damage. There's so much damage when you start getting wounds in, and there's like no cooldowns on how many wounds you can have. You can just spam it and spam it and spam it. Now, as of Title Bid 4, I think wounds are perfect. They're not broken, you can't spam them, and they're pretty hard to open now. So back then, the wound mechanic was a little bad, but now I think it's perfectly balanced. Now it's time for focus mode. Focus mode allows you to aim your weapon now, which you couldn't do in older games. A lot of people like it because it's very fun, but there's also a lot of people who dislike it because they think the game is easier. Because I'm looking on the side, which I think it's a fun mechanic to introduce to Monster Hunter in general. A lot of people are saying it lowers the skill floor, which is, I don't know, the skill floor, like all like the skill shit, I think it's subjective. But the thing is about focus mode, it's not really mandatory. If you want to pop wounds, you can use focus mode for like a split second and do focus strike. I've seen some people compare it to the Clutch Claw and say it's actively worse than the Clutch Claw, which is like ridiculous. I think the Clutch Claw is stupid. Dude, they made you use the Clutch Claw for like optimal DPS. Like at some point it was required to use the Clutch Claw to do like high amounts of damage. You don't have to use focus mode in Wilds though. At most you're using it just to pop wounds, and that doesn't even take like 1/10 of a second. Clutch Claw was like deep into the playstyle world, and focus mode isn't as bad as people make it out to be, bro. If you don't like focus mode, don't use it. Don't use it. Offsets and power clashes. Offsets are where you time attacks to counter a monster's attack and basically throw them off balance. Power clashes are using a shield of some sort and basically clashing with the monster. Honestly, they give more life to Monster Hunter in general. Love them. Like more mechanics to play around with, dude, I'm all for it, man. I don't think there's anything negative around them. I just think that these mechanics are just so much fun, and I'd rather have them than have nothing. I'd rate the gameplay of Monster Hunter Wilds a 9 out of 10. Pretty solid. Okay, let's talk about the grinding process in Wilds. Basically, the gameplay loop of Wilds is more or less the same as previous installations. You got low rank, high rank, and then endgame grinding mechanics like Artisan, Transcending Armor, Dogma weapons, all that stuff. You hunt monsters, craft gear, hunt stronger monsters, craft stronger gear, repeat. Same old formula that has never went away since the first installment. Let's talk about Wilds' low rank. Listen, I don't hate the low rank in Monster Hunter Wilds, but it should have been more engaging, is what I had to say about it. I'm not really a story player in general, but I am more of a gameplay type of player. But I will say this, Nata, you're annoying. You suck, and Arkvale does not care about you whatsoever. I think the low rank turning to a story mode was good. Like, it's a good idea. It's probably more enjoyable for new players, but less for like old players. Because there's a little annoying issue with the low rank story mode where there's a ton of hand holding in it. In the old Monster Hunter games, you could basically do whatever the hell you want. All you have to do in the end was just hunt the main quest and then do the urgent quest. But in Wilds low rank, there's not much freedom. You gotta like follow around the NPCs on your sacred, and they walk at like 2 miles per hour, dude. It was annoying as hell. It's not the biggest deal in the world though. I can get past it. Like, it was still fun regardless. Low rank is very easy. I don't know how hard it'd be for new players, but I doubt you would cry yourself to sleep. After you beat low rank, you go into high rank, which is just classic Monster Hunter. You hunt monsters, level up your hunter rank, and then you go find the next urgent quest. Let's talk about artisan weapons. Artisan weapons are special weapons you can make from artisan materials, which you can get from hunting tempered monsters. Tempered monsters are basically stronger versions of the monster. They also give you artisan gear, or use the same gear to craft artisan weapons. I'm not going to go too in depth with the grinding process because this is a small summary. But I'm going to go in like the real issues with it though. Real details. The artisan weapons of Monster Hunter Wilds are too good. I don't like them. The thing about them is they are so much better. So much better than the regular weapons you forge from monster parts. Like, the gap is so big now. The issue is that artisan weapons overshadow the regular weapons too much, dude. The only incentive to run an actual weapon right now is like, as of Title Update 4, it's like for fashion, dude. It feels like artisan weapons are the actual shit, and the monster crafted weapons are just there for like layered armor or something. The gap between regular and artisan wasn't that big before Title Update 4, but then they added Gakmazios and they added Gakmazios Artisan. Before Title Update 4, there was actually an incentive to run regular weapons because they had unique skills tied to them. Title Update 4 introduced Gogma Artisan, which was basically the final nail in the coffin for regular weapons. Gogma Artisan makes it so you can put skills on artisan weapons. Like special skills. I'm not talking about like Divine Blessing. You can put like skills that are dedicated to monsters. Like, let's say Gormagala's Tyranny. That's like the meta right now. You can put that on any longsword. Not any longsword, just any weapon in general. My bad. And Affinity is so easy to get because you can just roll up with Gormagala's Tyranny, put on Antivirus, which you overcome, and then you can hit an insane Affinity boost and attack boost, dude. Right now, that's just the meta. Gormagala's Tyranny and Lord Soul. And low-key, I'll be running that shit too. I also be using that. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the grinding in Wild seems to be the easiest in the series. Like, what I mean is it's much easier to get materials for armors and weapons in Wilds than the other older games. Like, we have investigations with guaranteed gem drops, which some people are conflicted on. Like, I do like getting gems, but the grinding process is a little shorter. Funny story about gems. Gakmazios absolutely shafted me on the gem drops. Listen, I did 15 hunts of Gakmazios, not a single gem. On the 16th, I get 2. He's an event quest, so there's no like investigations for him. It was fun, don't get me wrong, it was really fun. But I'm just never gonna do SOS quest. I'm never doing SOS again. Man, the SOS players in Monster Hunter Wilds, dude, they are either from Team Darkside or one of the worst players imaginable. You'll start to wonder, how did they get to Hunter rank 100? And the funny thing is, I only lose in SOS when I pop a lucky voucher. But yeah, I forgot about talismans and decorations. So, there's dedicated decorations to your weapons and armor now. There's like weapon decorations and armor decorations. You can't just throw everything you want on them. Like you can't just throw like a million attack jewels and call it a day. I think on release I really didn't like it because it just seemed so annoying. Like they just like change that all of a sudden. But now that we have RNG talismans that can have like any skill in them, I don't really mind them as much. I think I like talisman grinding more than like artisan grinding. What's next? Transcending. Oh, transcending your armor is pretty solid. Please, 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 when you're in the end game, upgrade your armor. Transcended, dude. Oh, like Gagmazios, 9-star gore, like all these 9-star like monsters, like the big boys, they will one-shot you now. Use a defender meal, dude. For all you SOS players, use a defender meal. Well, not defender meal. Just use any meal. Use any meal that gives you defender, and use divine protection. Right? Get insurance as well. So there's a lot more cards because I'm new telling you, bro. Like there's a lot of cards in SOS now, dude. Especially with like Gagmazios, Savage Omega, Gormagala, Sergios. Like all these monsters are tough, dude. But I'd say the gameplay loop is 8 out of 10, dude. The grinding's pretty fun. It's pretty forgiving to get materials. Some may hate it, some may like it. I don't really mind it either way. Like I think I'm on the side which maybe some materials should be harder to get. And artisan weapons suck. That's it for the gameplay loop. 7 out of 10. At the roster. Well, the roster is awesome, probably one of the best in the series, but I'm not gonna spend too much time on every monster. And especially not like the minor monsters like Kuliyaku, Langanga, Chotacabra. It's like they're not terrible. They're not necessarily bad monsters, but they're not the most exciting. Like they're just there to ease into the game, and that's not really much an issue to me. Like what am I gonna say about Kangala though? Like Kangala, oldest dude, just fart, throws poop at you, and whatever. I don't think they even changed anything about him from like old gen to new gen. They just imported him into Wilds and called it a day. But let's just get straight into it, man. Archvild is the flagship monster of Wilds. I think it's probably one of the best visually designed monsters in Monster Hunter in general. What's his name? Chain Wraith or something? I think he's cool as shit. All his moves are like pretty well telegraphed. Like there's not a lot of bullshit attacks besides that one tail punch he has where the hitbox is so disjointed. I still don't know to this day that he can hit you from the front of his body even though the tail is in the back. But anyway, all the Apex Predators and Wilds are pretty good. I don't hate any of them. If I had to pick a least favorite, probably New Udra. I just don't like the visual clarity of New Udra. Sometimes I don't even know what he's about to do. I think it's because he's like an octopus, so I'm not really like, you know, or squid. I'm not sure. But my favorite Apex Predator is Raidou. He's so cool, dude, especially his rail cannon strike where he blows the whole goddamn place up. When I first saw that move in the beta, dude, I was so hyped. But I do have a little complaint about Raidou. Why is Raidou the only monster in Wilds who has an effect on the environment? Like the lightning, the plains is like the plains look so cool. All the lightning strikes in the background, it's like dark as hell as well. I think it's a very missed opportunity to not allow more environment changes. Like, dude, the lightning effects in the plains map are amazing. Why isn't there more? Did they just forget about it? I hope they're gonna add more in the DLC, because that's a gigantic fumble. At least I think every locale should have like some form of what Raidou has. Because this game is an open world game. You might as well go all out for the open world. I don't care about fishes swimming in the ocean. I want to see cool shit, like cool environmental shit, like Raidou's lightning strikes. What's another cool monster? Oh, Doshogama. I think Doshogama is probably one of the best starter monsters. Like Doshogama is so fun. I think he's underrated. You want to mess with power clashes, offsets, counters of some sort? I think Doshogama is the best way to practice those. He's so fun when you start using those mechanics against him. He can hit you hard though, but he's not like the toughest fight in the world. In the beta, I think in the beta it was actually pretty hard. But once I came back to him in the actual game, I messed around with like offsets and shit. Like, it was a blast for me. Rathalos and Raytheon, more or less the same. Always going to be in a Monster Hunter game. I don't remember a game where they weren't in a Monster Hunter. But Odogaron, I want to make a comment about him specifically. I feel like Odogaron was way scarier in World than he was in Wilds. Like, in World, he felt so much more faster. That might just be me, I don't know, maybe. I had a bad time with him in World, so... But in Wilds, he wasn't that bad. Ajara and Lalabarina, Hirobami, they're all solid monsters, but they're not exactly the most difficult, but they're solid. I think Fulgur, Anjanath, and Gravios is like really, really boring. If I had to pick between the two of them, I'm taking Gravios over Anjanath. Anjanath sucks, dude. I think he's really, really boring. I think I enjoy his normal variant instead of the lightning. Like Guardian Lightning. Anjanath, dude, that thing sucks, dude. I don't care. Nursilla. Nursilla is a very easy monster. But Nursilla in the Savage Omega DPS phase is like this is the spawn of hell, dude. I hate Nursilla in the Savage Omega fight. I hate Nursilla. But there's a whole video on Savage Omega on my YouTube channel. Just search up like, is Savage Omega a good addition to Monster Hunter Wilds if you want to watch that video. I don't like Savage Omega. Zoshia is a little weird. I don't exactly like him, but I don't really hate him. I think he's extremely tedious solo. He feels like a damage sponge, and to be honest, he's boring as hell, and feels like a chore. The AoE attack spam is so ass, bro. I don't even want to fight Zoshia. Like, if I wanted to have fun in the game, like, Zoshia wouldn't even cross my mind about monster to hunt. Gormagala is great, dude. I feel like they did a very solid job with importing him into New Gen. I feel like Gormagala had the biggest globe of all time. In Old Gen, Gormagala was kind of easy. Like, I think the only dangerous move of Gormagala in Old Gen was when he would run forward at you, and his whole body would be at hitbox, and he'd just be spamming that. I think every monster in Old Gen had some sort of move where they just charge forward at you, and their entire body was in hitbox. But in Wilds, I think his 9-star quest is kind of insane, bro. He feels like a completely different fight in Wilds to me, dude. Let me know which monster you think you got like the biggest glow up in Wilds. Is it like Mitsunune, Lagiacrus, Serurgios, Kuliyaku even? But in Tide Update 1, they added Mizutune. Mizutune in Wilds is really, really cool. The fact that they took Soulseer Mitsunune, which is a deviant monster from Generations Ultimate, and put it into like the regular form of Mizutune, I think it's a very good way to introduce deviants back in the monster. Although I'm kind of sad because we'll never get like a full deviant monster. There'll just be parts of them put in a regular variant. Maybe they'll just add it. Who knows? Cloud Update 2 added Lagiacrus and Serurgios. Guy just finally came back in Monster Hunter from his previous appearance in Generations, I think. And Serurgios came back in Rise as well. But he came back to this game as well. Both of these monsters are pretty hard. I don't think neither of them are bullshit, but both of them are really a fun challenge. Like, they're probably up there as one of the hardest monsters in the game. It's not excessive damage, it's more like the mix-ups of their moves are kind of tricky. Title Update 3 added the most agonizing hunt in Wild, Savage Omega. I'm not going to talk much about him, but he's problematic for the game. Again, I have a video on him, so if you want to go watch, oh, I can't talk. If you want to watch that, go look at my YouTube channel. Much appreciated. Title Update 4 added Gakmazios from Monster Hunter 4. His fight, I think his fight's one of the best in the series. Like, his fight's really well paced. Like, really well paced. It's phenomenal. Like, I was worried about like a siege. Like a siege fight would be like kind of, you know, kind of dragged out. But nah, like he takes like 20 minutes max. But Gakmazios is probably one of the best choices they could have made to end off Monster Hunter Wilds. He feels like a true final boss. This fight isn't exactly the hardest, but the laser beams he has and the fire eruptions in phase 3 can pretty catch you. Like, he can catch you hard. Overall, I think the roster of Wilds is a whole lot of fun. Issue with some of the monsters is that there's really there's really no incentive to hunt anyone besides the main ones. Like, there's not much of an incentive to go hunt, I don't know, Gravios, a Jarakan. When's the last time you hunted a Gravios in Wilds? Not much. And hunter symbols are annoying too, to be honest. Most of the good weapons take the highest ranking of hunter symbols anyway. And honestly, you won't even need to grind hunter symbols. Just grind out, you know, freaking artisan weapons. And you have basically the strongest weapons in the game. Overall, the roster is solid. Now it's time to talk about the biggest issue that absolutely took Monster Hunter Wilds by the goddamn neck. Strangled it for months, dude. PC performance of Monster Hunter Wilds, even console, not even PC, is just sickening. Sickening, bro. Games now in 2026. Your main priority is to make sure the game works, dude. I can't speak for console players because I never played Monster Hunter Wilds on a console, but I just know, I'm pretty sure they ripped the game to shreds to optimize it on console. I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Developers, if your game barely even functions and runs like trash, it's not gonna help in the long run. Your game could be the greatest game given the planet Earth, and people will still drop the game if it crashes 20 FPS and stutters. Like, I'm not saying developers don't prioritize optimization, but to the level of optimization Monster Hunter Wilds had on release, it seems like they slapped on frame generation for everyone to get up to 60 FPS to call it a day. Like, now, game optimization has never been more important. The reason why I say this is because Monster Hunter Wilds sold 1 million copies in 6 hours. That is insane. Monster Hunter Wilds day 1 of release had almost 1.2 million players. Insane numbers, dude. And to even exaggerate this even more, Monster Hunter Wilds was a full price game. $70. People were willing to throw money at Capcom. The reason why they got this many players was because like the faith built up through World and Rise and even Generations Ultimate, and hell, even older games, 3 Try, who cares? If you played those games, you were probably really excited for Wilds if you liked them. You probably still were excited for Wilds. And then the hype started to dwindle. It dwindled really fast actually when it came out, because the game ran like abysmal dog shit, dude. Like, after a few weeks or a month, people really started getting mad and expressing their thoughts more about the game. And I can't blame them. The performance on release was just like, come on, dude. The reason why I think the performance was the biggest issue with Wilds, even though Wilds has some gameplay flaws, is that Monster Hunter will never regain this level of trust ever again, dude. I don't think the DLC will sell even nearly as close as the base game, dude. Like, a lot of people lost faith in Capcom. I'm not saying anyone won't buy it, but most people aren't gonna buy the DLC with the same level of eagerness they had with the base game. The performance was that bad, dude. Capcom had a money printer. With that amount of hype, they had a money printer. They shot themselves in the foot. That's why I said game optimization is so important nowadays. I think Wilds is a good game, don't get me wrong, but it would have been way more received well if Capcom gave themselves more time. Like, give some more time to yourself to optimize the game. 1.2 million players day 1. Monster Hunter will never experience that again. Like, are you kidding me? The reason why I'm still stinking around is because I still love Monster Hunter, you know? I have a good PC in general, so I can run the game fine. It's nothing exceptional, though. Like, I'm not gonna ignore the performance issues, though. Like, something needs to be done. And the performance updates in 2026 better be insane before the DLC, because it's still bad. I don't think it's getting better, but I don't think it's that good still. Like, Title Beat 4 kind of didn't make a difference for me. I still get around like 70 FPS in hunts. Speaking of FPS, I'm gonna put this in the video now, but there's something incredibly wrong. The hunter hubs and wilds, especially the Grand Hub. I get like 45 FPS in the Grand Hub. And the most ludicrous, the most insane thing about the hubs, dude, is that there's nothing going on in the background. Nothing is happening. I could just like stand still in the Grand Hub and it runs like trash. I get like 40 FPS. But when I'm in a hunt, let's say Gagmazios, I'm getting like 70. One last thing about the performance, if I move on to the next. I don't think Wilds looked much better than World. Maybe it even looks worse than World, actually. I think World looks amazing and doesn't run like shit. The visual clarity of Wilds is like really bad. It does not equate to any performance issues, man. Like the game does not look that good for it to be running that bad. And the blurriness in Wilds is like, I don't know what's wrong about the blurriness in Wilds. It feels like someone smeared Vaseline over the monitor. I don't know why. If the game looked beautiful and didn't run well, it wouldn't be as frustrating. But Wilds just looks a little bit better than World and still runs like trash. That's all I have to say for the performance. If you have a decent PC and you want to play Monster of Wilds, go for it, man. But if you don't have the greatest PC, you should wait till there are more. You should wait till there are more performance updates, because no amount of configuration is gonna do you a lot of justice, man. Like the performance, man, before Title Update 4 is like a 3 out of 10, and after Title Update 4, 5.5, I guess. I mean, some people are saying it's better for them. Some people are saying it's running worse for them. I don't know, man. But that's all I have. That's all I have, guys, man. If you agree with me or not, please let me know in the comments. I enjoy seeing feedback on my videos. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Much appreciated. And I'll see you guys in the next one.